So Mary, this is our larger seed production field. It's about an acre and a half. We grow many varieties up here. We've got more space to do that. And some of the varieties that are up here this year are pie pumpkin, our Ukrainian squash, our North Circle butternut. We've got African eggplants. One of the really popular beans is called Vortex bean. It's a pole bean. So that was fun, trellising the pole bean this year. I haven't done that before. And we also have peppers in cages. So they're in isolation cages so the bees won't cross-pollinate their pollen. And each variety will be pure within the isolation cages.
So the varieties that you grow, are they considered open pollinated or are they heirlooms?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So heirloom doesn't mean anything scientific in terms of genetics. Heirloom's a really great word for story. So if you've got an heirloom necklace per se, it has a meaning to you. It has a story about your importance to that seed. But in terms of more scientific term, open pollinated is as a good term, and all of our seeds are open pollinated versus hybrid. So hybrid seed, that's the seed that you'll find in a lot of seed catalogs that farmers will get because of uniform look to them. They'll yield nice. But open pollinated, you could actually save the seed, whereas hybrid, there's a mix of genetics because there's two parent plants and they're different genetics. So if you save those seeds the second year, you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a completely mixed bag. It's not going to be reliable. So that's why all the seeds we grow and sell are open pollinated. So you can save the seeds, and anybody that buys the seeds can also save the seeds.
Where did you originally get the seeds you started with?
All over the world. So there is a USDA germplasm bank for plant breeders. I went to school for plant breeding at Iowa State University, and I went for corn breeding, and our project was for a high nutrient orange corn, which has high in beta carotene, so vitamin A. So a lot of the seed that we were able to find was on this USDA, it's called GRIN, G-R-I-N, publicly available for breeders and research. And this seed does not have any patents to it. So it's unrestricted seed. So that's one source we could use. The problem with that is that seed's not certified organic. So we have to be we have to tell the story of what we're doing here in North Circle Seeds. We're breeding things, we're having fun, we're throwing a bunch of different varieties and genetics into a mix sometimes to create our own varieties, which is a lot of fun. But the problem with that is a lot of seed out there already has a patent and already has a restriction. So we can't use specific seeds for specific reasons. But there are open pollinated sources out there, as well as asking breeders, asking organic breeders, and just doing that background check.
What culturally important varieties do you grow?
So I would say the culturally important varieties are culturally important because of the people that perhaps have donated that seed or grew that seed, and the relationship that I have with that individual person. So Simeon from Fargo, Moorhead area has donated African eggplant, these red ones here, zebra eggplant and a white one. And those are culturally important to him, and he's been generous enough to share them with me. And then our deal is that I grow out some plants for him every year as plant starts. I think that's great. That's part of our mission, is to grow food that is diverse, culturally important to not just the Norwegian or I'm Jewish culture, or Somali or Latinx community, but to all the communities that live in Minnesota. So we want to grow for food, and to have those seeds regionally adapted is important, because if they were from, let's say, Puerto Rico or Africa, then it takes a number of years to get them adapted to the colder climate that we live in now. And then it's also fun to share those with those seeds with people that haven't grown them before. I have friends in the Sustainable Farming Association that came up to me and said, those zebra eggplants are some of the best eggplants I've ever had. So it's a new experience for a lot of people to grow different kinds of seeds.
Well, and you're even trying to grow a blue corn, aren't you?
That's right, yeah. So our blue corn variety is a kind of mixed bag. Some of those seeds were from actually Mexico, and some of them were from around this region, open pollinated varieties. And this is the fun part of, I think is the fun part of plant breeding, is you kind of get to use all your senses. You get to taste, you get to look at, which are the ones that you want to select from. If you're growing a bunch of varieties within a cross-pollinated population, everything's going to mix. So you're going to get a lot of different things, but it is a population and it is open pollinated. So you're going to get a reliable corn, but through the years of breeding and selecting, you're breeding and selecting something that's going to work, nice cob and nice yield, that is disease resistant, lodging resistant. So there's a lot of things to think about on the breeding side, but to be able to create something new and to be able to create something that is culturally meaningful to people making tortillas and using that blue corn in fun and different ways, corn chips and blue corn bread, muffins, and there's a lot of different things that you could use that for on the garden or small scale side.
Where do you keep the things that you have to dry?
I keep most of it in a room next to my garage. We've got screens and we have a dehydrator that blows up wind. So when we harvest our garlic per se, we want to cure that garlic for almost 2 or 3 weeks. We're running air through that screen continuously, and that cures the garlic. That'll make it last all year round until next spring to eat.